guys, Toast here, and welcome to another episode of Overwatch How to Play. This is a series that focuses on each Overwatch character's backstory, covers their basic mechanics and abilities, and discusses tips to play each character. Today's focus is Winston. The Horizon Lunar Colony was established as the first stage of a renewed effort to explore space. Among its residents was a group of genetically enhanced gorillas that were intended as test subjects. One of these gorillas displayed such rapid brain development that he was taken under the care of Dr. Harold Winston, who took it upon himself to teach the young gorilla science and inspired him with tales of human ingenuity. The young gorilla would spend his time assisting with experiments, watching the distant blue world outside his window, and dreaming of the possibilities that may await him there. Suddenly, his life was thrown into chaos when the other gorilla inhabitants staged an uprising, killing many of the scientists and claiming the space colony as their own. Taking on the name of his beloved caretaker, Winston built a makeshift rocket and managed to escape to the safety of Earth. It was there that he found his new home with Overwatch, an organization that represented everything he had admired about humanity while he was in space. Winston was finally given the chance to live up to the heroic ideal that was instilled in him. With the fall of Overwatch, Winston has gone into hiding, cut off from the world he believes in, but longing to return to his days of heroism. Now that we have a little backstory on Winston, let's take a look at the basic mechanics of this genetically engineered gorilla scientist. Winston fills the tank role in this game and has 400 health with 100 armor and no shield. This puts Winston in line with all the other tanks in terms of overall hit point pool, but his 100 armor gives him some nice added protection that not all tanks have. Winston's primary weapon is his Tesla cannon. Winston fires short-range electric arcs for as long as he holds down the trigger. The electric attack locks onto any enemy within an 8-meter range and continues to stay locked on and dealing damage as long as the target is within range, in front of Winston, and Winston is continually holding down the trigger. The damage is fairly low overall, but due to his ability to take out multiple targets at once, the utility of it is quite high for a primary weapon. The cannon has 100 ammunition and uses 20 per second for a sustained 5-second attack before needing to reload. Winston's first ability is called Jump Pack. Winston lunges through the air with the assistance of his energy pack and deals damage as well as staggers any enemy within a close proximity of where he lands. This ability is Winston's escape and also his initiator, allowing him to travel a significant distance quickly and also physically affect any enemy near where he lands. The amount of damage dealt is small, but still a good way to initiate into battle with most characters. You can change the trajectory of the jump based on where you're looking when you initiate it, so use that to your advantage to jump over items or change vertical levels within a map. Jump Pack has a 6-second cooldown. Winston's second ability is called Barrier Projector. Winston places down a device that projects a spherical field around him, absorbing all damage until it expires or is destroyed. Allies within the barrier are protected from any damage while also being able to fire out from the barrier. This ability is akin to Reinhardt's barrier field in that it's a very good way to mitigate a lot of damage while taking an objective. However, unlike Reinhardt's barrier field, Winston's barrier projector is stationary, and in order to make use of its protection, you must stay within the confines of its initial location. Barrier projector lasts for a total of 5 seconds and has a 13-second cooldown. Winston's ultimate ability is called Primal Rage. Winston summons his animal nature, growing in size and significantly boosting his health, strengthening his melee attack, and allowing him to use his jump pack more frequently. While raging, Winston can only melee attack and make use of his jump pack. Each melee attack also knocks back any enemy it hits, allowing Winston to separate himself from enemies closing in or knock enemies off ledges if they're close enough. Primal Rage lasts for a total of 10 seconds. Now that we have an idea of his base mechanics, let's talk about some of Winston's strengths and weaknesses. As mentioned, Winston fills the tank role in this game, which means that one of his innate strengths is his large hit point pool. This, combined with the fact that 20% of his hit points are armor, which gives him natural damage mitigation, means that he's one of the more challenging heroes in the game to take down. Close range is where Winston excels, as his primary attack requires a very close proximity to the enemy, but he has the added bonus of being able to close the gap very quickly with his jump pack. That said, Winston needs to be cautious of long-range engagements as well, as while his jump pack will certainly help him close the gap, if the enemy is at extreme distances and is capable of doing high damage like Hanzo, Widowmaker, or Torbjorn, then they have the opportunity to take you out before you can get to them. Also keep in mind that Winston's attack is not terribly strong, especially when engaging multiple enemies, so if you're going to jump into a fight, make sure that you have some backup to help you deal damage. Otherwise, you're going to take a lot of damage really quickly and likely put yourself in a losing situation. Now that we have an understanding of where Winston excels, let's talk about some tips and tactics to play as Winston. Winston is going to be relied on as the team's engager. Because he can leap to a destination in a very quick fashion, your teammates are going to expect you to be the one to initiate a push. Make sure that you have your team's support before doing this though, as despite Winston's innate damage mitigation and barrier projector, multiple enemies focused on him can do enough damage to take him out before his team can even arrive. A really strong way to initiate a battle is to use your jump pack to land on as many enemies as possible, doing damage right off the bat, dropping your barrier projector for protection, and then using your primary attack to deal constant damage while your teammates take care of the rest. Make yourself the focus of the enemy team for a few moments to give your teammates a leg up on dealing damage. Something to pay attention to is when you decide to use your ultimate. Winston should take two things into consideration before popping Primal Rage. Number 1, how much health does he have? And number 2, how close are the enemies to a ledge? Winston gains a massive health pool buff when he goes into Primal Rage, and all hit points are automatically restored upon the use of the ability, so try to wait until you're in a very low health situation to maximize your survivability. That said, if you find that enemies are close to a ledge or an area they can be knocked off of, use that to your advantage, as each melee attack in Primal Rage knocks enemies back and can be devastating if you can eliminate multiple enemies in a single quick swipe. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you feel better equipped to play Winston now, or if there are some aspects that you feel that I missed that you want to share. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.